Hello and a very good morning to my beloved lecturer, Madam Rani, and all my fellow friends. My name is Uswah binti Muaaz and my metric number is 1210396. Today, I'm going to talk about one intercultural movie named Sepet. The movie that directed by Yasmin Ahmad with the main cast Sharifah Amani as Orchid, Chu Seong as Jason, also known as Ah Long, and Linus Chong as Kyung. The synopsis of the movie Sepet. A 19-year-old Ah Long, who also called himself Jason, is in charge of a store selling unlicensed VCDs. Contrary to the stereotype of his social standing, Ah Long is an incurable romantic with an unlikely hobby. He loves to read and write poetry. Quite content with being the Romeo of the slums, Ah Long's life takes a sudden turn on one day when he meets a Malay schoolgirl Orchid. Orchid, who a Malay girl from a well-off family, living in contemporary city environment with a soft spot for pretty much everything Chinese. Their love story starts when Orchid arrives at Jason's stall while looking for films starring her favorite actor Takeshi Kaneshiro. One girl and one boy from completely different backgrounds fall in love. Love blossoms between Orchid and Ah Long, although there are social and racial pressures that stand in their way. At the end, Ah Long is involved in a motor vehicle accident while Orchid is going to England to pursue her studies. Toward the end, Orchid is shown wearing a wedding ring sleeping beside Jason, who also has a wedding ring. Jason and Orchid are shown to be living together. There are three main elements in this movie. First and foremost, love. Love between Orchid and Jason. Second, language and culture between Chinese and Malay. And last but not least, family and friendship. The family bonding between Orchid and her family, and the friendship of Jason and Kyung. Love between Orchid and Jason was love at the first sight. It started at clip 14 minutes 23 seconds of their first meet when the love starts sparkling into their eyes. At clip 23 minutes 40 seconds is their first proper meet. They start knowing each other deeper. Their conversation all about movie and family background. Orchid tells her loves to a Chinese movie while Jason talks about his family used to watch Malay movie back then. After that, they start dating happily. The plot starts at 1 hour 15 minute 30 second clip where Jason expressed to Orchid with a letter that he made a girl pregnant. That letter answered Orchid where he has been the whole time after their last meet. After that, their relationship hanging until Orchid decided to accept an offer to further her study, and at the same time Jason had an accident. Their love so strong because they are in cross-racial relationship, and which include restriction and stereotype from both sides. Next, element of language and culture. The heart of culture involves language, religion, values, tradition, and custom. Jason and Orchid was open-minded because they are learned about culture through informal learning from their parents and family. They were very respectful toward each other religion and culture. Next, language. Language is a means of preserving culture. The language used in this movie are Cantonese, Chinese, and Malay. They are the language used in Malaysian society. Sepet is not just about deep love story with bright character. It's a painfully realistic outlook into the world of city life in Malaysia. The conflicted culture, imperfection, and sincerity in people. It is because it's not easy to find a couple that willing to settle down in two different cultures. Because we have been told that one side must let go of their culture and follow the other one way of life. It requires so much sacrifice, justice, and fair. Another main point shown in this movie is about privilege and gender prejudice. At the 30-minute clips, the moment Johari arrested Orchid. Knowing that Orchid is dating a Chinese boy, her misogynist friend labeled her as one of the stupid Malay girls who think they are too good for their race. Orchid was so angry and disagreed with their statement. All that time, lots of Malay men have been marrying outside their race. But when Orchid decided to settle down with Jason, he had to face harsh criticism. He further degraded her by calling her a slum. Orchid completely ignoring the fact that he has been harassed by Johari. This goes to show that if a person has no common sense, even their race cannot save them. Sadly, prejudice exists not only between ethnic groups, but it also rampant inside their community. The thing that I want to highlight here is stereotype. At the clip of 55 minutes, the conversation between Orchid and Kyung. Orchid said, "You guys are not like what I imagine guys from this area would be." And then Kyung answered, "Don't stereotype people." There's a huge message from Kyung that is related to cultural stereotyping that occurs when one assumes that all people within a culture act, think, and behave the same way. Stereotype leads to decreased productivity, dissatisfaction, and reduced revenues. We need to differentiate between culture and stereotypes. We can prevent stereotype by developing empathy for others, try to walk in their shoes, educate ourselves about different cultures and groups. It is important to educate ourselves and continue to do self-assessment about our stereotype and how they are potentially interfering our interaction. Now, I want to talk about function of family. One of many functions is socialization, teaching important tradition and social skill as well as values and moral. Second of all, language acquisition. Children learn the language of the culture. In this movie, Orchid was formed from nuclear family that has a stable, wholesome life where they do not seem to have any financial obligation and also can afford to pay for their life in mid. While Jason is from a poor nuclear disjointed family and he lives under forced alleged to the local gang. Now, I'm going to talk about friendship. The friendship between Kyung, Jason, and Orchid. At first, when Jason tell Kyung about his relationship with Orchid, Kyung was perfectly disagreed with the ideas of Chinese boy date Malay girls, as it's too troublesome for him. He hate having to change name, religion, and being unable to eat pork as examples. Despite him lightly telling this is actually a serious issue for them. Incapability to carry the family name and continue the bloodstream is often seen as a mortal sin to conventional Chinese. Kyung did not like Orchid at the first place, but as he conversed with her later on, he was surprised to find they share the same interest in movie taste and they both love playing pianos. Indirectly, it built the friendship between Kyung and Orchid. It was as a message of hope on breaking stereotypes. I think that's all that I can compile about Intercultural in this beautiful movie called Sepet. I hope we can get something from this movie and apply it in our daily life. Thank you and have a great day.